The first technical session where we would discuss the community participation law and present the Kerala situation. So may I now request Sri R.K. Singh, Secretary, LSGD Department, to chair the technical session. And in this technical session we have a presentation on the community participation law by Sri Ramesh Ramanathan, after which Sri S.M. Vijayanand, Principal Secretary, LSGD, would describe in detail the position which is prevalent in Kerala now as far as urban community participation is concerned. So, Mr. Ramesh Ramanathan, may I now request you to kindly make your presentation on the various aspects of the community participation law.
Dr. N. Ramachandran, Mr. V. Ramachandran, Mr. Divakaran, Mr. R.K. Singh. I don't know if have we lost Mr. Vijayanand?
He'll be coming.
Okay. Friends and colleagues from elected representatives, mayors, chairpersons, and colleagues from various constituencies. My friend Raghunandan, who is here from Bangalore, who is currently on a sabbatical from the Ministry of Panchayati Raj. I want to say it's a privilege to be here for a number of reasons. My own journey on, I can't speak in Malayalam, so please excuse me. I can only speak in, I can speak in Tamil if that's okay with everybody, or I can speak in English. My own journey on participation began about 12 years ago. I want to try and do three things today. Talk a little bit about the context, because we have always wanted to come and have a discussion on community participation in Kerala. Because as all the speakers in the opening session have spoken, Kerala has a phenomenal record of participation, of people's planning. And so for anyone who is interested in participation, an opportunity to visit Kerala and have a discussion, a debate, a difference of opinion, anything at all with those of you in Kerala is a privilege. So that's the first thing. We finally got that opportunity. So thank you for hosting this and making it such a well-represented occasion. I have normally when we have sessions with government, because these sessions are about ultimately power and politics, there is always an agenda. There is always something that the person wants to get. I have no agenda. I'm coming to you as an urban resident. 12 years ago, I am not a member of a political community. My institution is not an NGO that takes money from government. We are not a contractor to government. I am not a consultant to government. We don't take a rupee from government. So we have no other interest except to say, how can we improve the quality of life of our cities? I am motivated by one vision. In the next 15 to 20 years, can we make Indian cities among the most livable cities and the most admired cities anywhere in the developing world? Forget about the developed world. And for that we believe that you cannot do that without getting people's involvement. But the second point I want to make is the point that was so eloquently expressed by the chairperson just speaking before me. We are not romantics about participation. We are not saying participation is the end all, that just if we get participation, everything will happen in our cities. There are tremendous challenges that our political representatives and our administrators of our cities face. Technical challenges, planning challenges, capacity challenges, financial issues. There are hundreds of challenges that every day when this meeting gets over, if you go out, you're going to be faced with all those challenges. So participation is one part of that. It is not the solution to all this. But I very, very strongly and passionately believe that you cannot solve all those problems without having a piece of participation in it. So the question is not whether we should have participation. The question is how should we have participation so that that portion of citizen involvement is also there in a systematic way. Because you have many other challenges to deal with. So I want to quickly walk you through some presentation material on what is this idea, how did this idea crystallize, this concept of the Nagara Raj bill, the area sabhas. It did not come out of a vacuum. It came out of experience of mobilizing hundreds of thousands of people on the ground. It came out of visiting with Raghu the rural areas to seeing how Gram Sabhas are mobilized. Ask yourself the one thing common to all of us sitting here, whether it is those sitting on the dais or all of us sitting here, we are all residents of urban India, and if we removed our identity as a bureaucrat, as a politician, and thought ourselves only as citizens, there is zero that we can do about our cities. Zero. About the garbage outside my house, about the illegal temple in the park, about anything at all. So, we must not ignore that issue. What is the institutional structural context here? I am giving you some information about Karnataka. I am sure it is very similar in Kerala. Karnataka has about totally 5 crore people, 3.2 crore are in rural, 1.7 crore are in urban. So if you look at rural, about 84,000 elected representatives across the 3 tiers of the Zilla, Taluk, Block Panchayat and Gram Panchayat. And on the urban it is about 5,000 elected representatives for about 1.7 crores. I don't know who's managing this thing. Can we page forward? Now if you look at this, what this means is, if the idea of a representative of local government is meant to be close to the citizens on your local issues, urban local government is about 10 times further away. There is one representative for almost 400 people or 100 families in the rural side, and one for almost 4,000 people on the urban side. Can you page forward? And that number, by the way, if you look at it for a big city like Trivandrum or Cochin, will be even worse. On top of which there is no platform. In the rural area, all the experiences that every speaker mentioned about Kerala being fantastic in participation is primarily in rural areas. It is not in urban areas. The experience is difficult in urban areas because people have many other ideas, they have many other attractions and incentives, but that doesn't mean that people don't care, that doesn't mean we don't give them a chance. There is a platform that's already available in the 73rd Constitutional Amendment called the Gram Sabha. It starts, the 73rd Constitutional Amendment starts with that. Every registered voter of a Gram Panchayat is a member of a Gram Sabha. You and I have nothing like that in the 74th Amendment. And I have gone and spoken to the architects of these, the original 64th and 65th Amendments. It was an oversight. It was the argument that, oh, the urban citizen is too busy, so they won't come. That is not for us to decide. If we give them a platform and they don't come, shame on them. If we give them a platform and 10% come, wonderful for those 10%. But we should not decide for them that they are not interested, they won't come. Can you page forward? But this doesn't mean that people don't want to participate. In fact, in the last 12 years that I have been doing this, I have not met a single cynical urban citizen. I have only met people who are, we say we have a term, we say urban citizens are prestige citizens. We are all pressure cookers. Because there is nowhere to vent. It's all boiling. I remember once when I was visiting a village with Raghu, and he's passionate about rural participation. And he was telling them, it was a North Indian village, you have to participate in your Gram Sabha, you have got this platform, etc. So I turned around and I asked Raghu, I said, imagine if one of those villagers turns around and says, sir, you are all big people, you come from the towns and you tell us, you must participate, you must do this. Have you ever participated once in your own area? Have you ever experienced participation as a citizen in your neighborhood where you live? And that was when Raghu paused and he gave me a statement and he said, I just realized that the easiest way to go from being a first-class citizen in India to a second-class citizen is to take a third-class ticket from a village to a city. Because we lose that ability to participate, that opportunity to participate. But people are doing things informally, ad hoc arrangements. The Resident Welfare Association is an ad hoc arrangement. It is a group of self-selected people. In Kerala, where you are the leading edge, as Mr. Ramchandran said, you are the leading edge. I have gone around the country thanks to the privilege of JNNURM. I have seen at least 40 cities and towns. There is no question a workshop like this we have conducted in many other places. The maturity of the discussion that has happened in the last 1.5 hours, nowhere else in the country. Getting straight to the point, saying I have a problem with Area Sabha, saying that there is an issue. This kind of maturity I have not seen anywhere. But that comes with a certain responsibility to acknowledge that these are all informal arrangements. These are all ad hoc arrangements. These are not institutionalized. Tomorrow they will go. There is no accountability either to them or from them. There is no two-way street in this. Somebody will come together, take up some environment issue, some NGO, some Rotary, somebody else will do this. But bottom line is, that thing at the bottom, it is all informal. Page forward. Most importantly, they are all distinct, separate pieces, whether it is for water supply scheme or community policing or garbage composting or self-help groups or neighborhood. They are not only different structures, but they are not connected to the municipality's decision making. The budgeting, the decision, the ward systems, the works, the coordination, nothing. It is as though there are two separate worlds. So the question, why do we have so many platforms? Why can't we have one single integrated permanent platform which can be used by the elected representatives, by the administrators? So if we are serious about answering the question how and not debating the question why, then we have to answer these questions. How will it come? How will people participate? How will we make sure that they are accountable? How will we make sure that there is no elite capture? Page forward, please. What about ward committee? Lot of states, lot of times when we go, we hear this argument, oh, but we have got ward committee. Or some other states they say, oh, but even ward committee doesn't work. Why don't we fix the ward committee before we talk about Area Sabha? This is like saying, you know, in that Kuala Lumpur, we have got these twin towers. You know, have you seen the twin tower structure in Kuala Lumpur? It is. Think of it like the participation structures, but one side it only goes to the first floor. It's like the ward committee. People are saying ward committee doesn't work. Let us make it work from above. The reason it doesn't work is because we have not built it from below. You must extend it to the bottom and make the ward committee be composed from the bottom so that it becomes accountable. So it can never be solved from upstairs. It can only be solved from downstairs. Page forward. So what is it we are saying in the Nagaraj bill? If the principle is okay, let us create a 3-tier structure from the municipality to the ward committee to some kind of a general body like the Gram Sabha. How do we compose it? How do we build? It is not just a list of names. It is an area in which about 1,000 to 1,500 voters are living. It is the only footprint which covers every square inch of an urban area. Trivandrum may have 2,000 booths. Mumbai has 10,000 booths. Bangalore has 5,000 booths. A ward, I don't know how many wards there are in Trivandrum. Probably 50 wards? 86 wards. Maybe 20, 30 booths in every ward. Now what is the population? Is about 30,000 per ward?